Hey friends, have you ever wondered why Enneagram 4s feel so deeply, lead so differently, or why they seem to view the world like a living work of art? Then you're in the right place. Today we're unpacking what makes the Type 4 tick, their wings, their subtypes, and how they show up in life and leadership. And why is this important? Well, understanding the nuances of Type 4s helps us appreciate their depth and gives us tools to better connect with them. Whether you're a 4, you're raising one, you're married to one, or you're working alongside one. Welcome to the Grace-Filled Leader Podcast. Do you want better work-life balance? Do you get stuck in patterns of perfectionism and people-pleasing? Have you always been an overachiever but never really felt good enough, no matter how much outward success you achieve? Do you want more time for the things that matter most? Well, you are in the right place. Here on the Grace-Filled Leader Podcast, we focus on spirit-driven success and share the secrets to having better work-life balance as a busy woman in leadership. Here you will learn how to set boundaries like a boss, find peace of mind, and reclaim your time for the things that matter most. Hi, I'm Tanya, a wife, mom, leader, and certified Christian life coach. For most of my life, I tried to find worthiness through achievement. I spent decades people-pleasing and pouring myself into my work. I was looking for my value through the approval of others. This led me to feel burned out, empty, and exhausted. I had no time or energy for myself or my family. I realized that I was wasting time and energy looking for validation in all the wrong places. But my life changed when I finally surrendered and God showed me a different way. It is my mission to help you start living the abundant life God has for you. If you're ready to become fueled by grace and find freedom from people-pleasing, if you're ready to multiply your time and impact as a Christian woman in leadership, this podcast is for you. Roll up your sleeves, sister friends. It's time to get after it. Okay, so what are the key characteristics of a Type 4? Let's just review them again. Well, their driving emotions are that they have a deep longing for identity and authenticity. They struggle with feelings of envy, believing that something essential is missing. They have a rich emotional life that range from joy to melancholy. The core motivation of a Type 4 is the desire to express their unique self and find personal significance. Their core fear is being ordinary, unseen, or without a meaningful identity. The origin of Type 4 is that they're often rooted in a sense of feeling different during their childhood, whether due to their environment, their experiences, or their own internal perception. At their best, 4s are emotionally honest, authentic, and connected to God's creativity in a way that brings beauty to the world. But when they are struggling, they can get caught up in circles of comparison and self-doubt. So let's talk about the wings of the Enneagram 4. Remember that the wings are the numbers on either side of a type. So for a 4, the wings are a 3 or a 5. So if you are a Type 4 wing 3, also known as the enthusiast, you combine the creativity of a 4 with the ambition of a 3. You might be more outgoing, driven to succeed, and eager to share your unique gifts with the world. The challenges that come with the Type 4 Wing 3 is that they can focus too much on external validation or image. Type 4 Wing 5 is also known as the Bohemian. This merges the introspection of a 4 with the intellectual curiosity of a 5. So Type 4 Wing 5s are often more reserved, deeply thoughtful, and focused on creating meaningful work. Their challenges are that they can withdraw too much or become overly absorbed in their inner world. Understanding the wings can help 4s lean into their strengths while being mindful of their blind spots. Whether they're leaning into ambition or introspection, each wing adds a unique flavor to the 4's personality. Let's jump now to the subtypes of the Enneagram 4. Remember, there are 3 subtypes to any Enneagram type. There's the self-preservation subtype, the social subtype, or the one-to-one subtype. The self-preservation 4 is often known as the tenacious individualist. This subtype focuses on survival and practicality, often channeling emotions into hard work and resilience. They may appear less emotional externally, but they feel very deeply on the inside. Their leadership style is that they are grounded and determined, using their creativity to overcome challenges. The social type 4 is the shame-conscious individualist. This subtype seeks to belong while maintaining their uniqueness. They are highly aware of group dynamics and their place within them. The leadership style of a social type 4 is that they are collaborative and empathetic. They are driven by a sense of purpose. And finally, we have the one-to-one type 4. This is the intense individualist. They are focused on deep personal connections. They express emotions passionately and they seek intensity in relationships. The leadership style of a one-to-one type 4 is that they are charismatic and inspiring, but they may struggle with emotional regulation. So these subtypes really reveal the different ways that type 4s seek to meet their core needs and motivations. They remind us that not all 4s look exactly the same, even if they share common traits. So, how do type 4s often show up in the world and in leadership? Well, from a strengths perspective, they are visionary thinkers with a knack for creativity and innovation. They are deeply empathetic, able to connect with others on a soul-to-soul level. And they inspire authenticity and vulnerability in their teams and their communities. Their challenges are that they may struggle with consistency or becoming overly focused on their emotions. They have a tendency to take feedback very personally or over-identify with their work. And they can get stuck in cycles of comparison or perfectionism. So some key takeaways for understanding and communicating with a type 4: affirm their uniqueness. 4s thrive when their individuality is recognized and celebrated. Second, be honest and authentic. Type 4s value genuine relationships and they can sense insincerity. Third, encourage practical action. Help type 4s balance their emotional depth with actionable steps. Fourth, offer grace in struggle. Acknowledge type 4's feelings, but gently guide them toward God's truth. And finally, focus on their God-given identity. Remind type 4s that their worth isn't found in comparison, but in Christ. My call to action for you folks: reflection questions for type 4s out there. Think about and maybe journal about these questions. What unique gifts has God given you? And how are you using them for His glory? Are there areas where you've allowed envy or comparison to steal your joy? Think about those. Journal about them. Challenge your thinking. If you're a type 4, take a small step this week to share your creativity with others. If you lead or you live with a 4, encourage them by affirming their contributions and their uniqueness. Folks, I would love to continue this conversation. Please consider sharing your thoughts or your questions about today's episode on Instagram or in our private Facebook group. Let me know, how do you see the wings and the subtypes playing out in your life, your leadership, or in the life of another type 4 that you may know or lead? As we wrap up this episode, let me remind you, whether you are a self-preservation for, forging a path, a social force connecting with purpose, or a one-to-one for building deep connections, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Lean into the unique story that God has written for you and trust Him to guide you as you live and you lead in this world. Until next time, keep showing up as the creative, unique woman that God has created you to be. And as always, I pray that the Lord fills you with gratitude, peace, and His amazing grace. I pray this episode blessed you, spoke to you, or encouraged you in some way. If so, please share it with a friend and head on over to Apple Podcasts to leave me a review. That's the only way for me to know if you're enjoying the show. Nothing blesses me more than to hear from you. Also, come on over to our free Facebook community. This is a great place for us to support one another on our faith and leadership journeys. You can find the link to the group in the show notes or go to gracefilledleader.com/community. If you have questions or content ideas for the show, please send me a message on SpeakPipe or via email. Go to gracefilledleader.com/contact and leave a written or voice recorded message. I would love to know how I can best serve you on the podcast. Now to Him who can do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Ephesians 3, verse 20. Until next time, my friends, God bless.